Welcome to the Creators MBA podcast, your go-to resource for mastering the art and science of digital product entrepreneurship. My name is Dr. Destiny Kopp, and I help business owners generate consistent revenue from their digital product business without the need to be glued to their desk, constantly live launching, or worrying about the social media algorithms. I hope you enjoy our episode today. Hi there, Destiny here, and welcome back to the Creators MBA podcast. I'm super excited that you are joining me today. And we're going to be talking about newsletter metrics. And if you have ever opened up your email service provider and started looking at your numbers and thought, what am I even looking at? Is this good? Is this bad? Is this terrible? I have absolutely no idea. So, my friend, you are not alone, and we are going to cover all of that today. And a lot of people either avoid their numbers completely or they obsess over numbers that are not actually telling them anything useful. So, what I want to do in this episode is to give you something entirely different. I want to give you a really simple way to look at your newsletter like a CEO so you can see what is working, what is not, and what to fix next. What we're covering today is the same framework I use inside of the Newsletter Profit Club. And inside this month's workshop, so if you are listening to this as this podcast episode comes out, in this workshop, we're going to go deeper. We're going to go deeper with benchmarks, examples, and a simple tracking system. But even with just this episode, you are going to walk away with more clarity than most business owners ever get. Okay, let's jump right in. So first, I want to give you a quick mindset shift. Your metrics are not a grade on your creativity. They're not a judgment on whether your newsletter is good enough. They are not a personality test for you as a business owner. Metrics have one job: to answer one question, and that is your system working? That is it. Every number is just a signal. It's a little piece of data that tells you what is happening inside your business. And it answers questions like, are people recognizing your brand when it lands in their inbox? Are they actually connecting with your content? Are they taking numbers make sense for the people you have on your list? Is your newsletter helping you bring in revenue, or is it just sitting there? And when you start looking at your stats through these lenses, your anxiety drops way down and you stop judging yourself and you start using your numbers to make decisions. And that is what we want. Now, let's talk about the framework I use. I like to think of this as your newsletter money map. You don't need 20 different charts. You only need 5 core metrics. And each one answers a very specific strategic question. And I'm going to walk you through them one by one. Number one, let's start with your open rate. And this is really answering the question, do people recognize and trust my brand? Now, open rate, this is a newsletter metric stat that everyone talks about, but here's the truth. Open rate is not a measure of how brilliant your writing is. It's really just a measure of relationship and recognition. And a healthy open rate usually means people know who you are, They remember why they signed up. They are expecting to hear from you. And your name in their inbox triggers a little bit, oh, good, this is them reaction. And when your open rates are low, it's usually one of two things. Number one, either you are emailing inconsistently, so people are forgetting about you, or they signed up for something once and never really connected with you or your content. And this is why consistency matters. And when readers trust you, they open. Subject lines definitely help there, but they are not the main reason why people are opening up your emails. Okay. Number two, we're going to be talking about click-through rate, which is answering the question, is my content compelling enough to act on? I do think that this is really the heartbeat of your newsletter. If people are opening, but they're not clicking anything, a couple of things might be going on. Your content might be nice to read, but it's passive. Or there's not a clear next step with them. You don't have a real, what I call a reader journey inside the email. So your job when you're sending out your newsletter is not just to send something that they would find that's interesting. Your job is to activate them to take the next step, to invite them to what you want them to do. That might be reading about a blog post, a product, a workshop, responding back to you. It doesn't always have to be a sale, but you do want them to take one kind of action. It might be as simple as signing up for some type of free thing that you have for them that leads into a tripwire and a full evergreen funnel to go into your signature course. So you're taking them on a very specific journey there. And a healthy click rate usually means your ideas are landing and your call to actions are clear, and that you are training your audience to engage with you on a regular basis. So if you want one phrase to remember here, I want you to think of your click-through rate as your reader activation rate. Okay. Number three, we're going to be talking about the conversion rates, which is, do my offers match the needs of my audience? And this is where we look at clicks that actually turn into purchases or some type of signups. So if people are clicking and then not buying, this is not a my list hates me type of problem, right? And it's not usually a traffic problem either. It's an alignment problem. So conversions tell you, does this offer make sense for this group of people? It also answers the question, does it solve a real problem or desire they already have? It also answers, is the pitch clear, specific, and confident, or is it a little bit of fuzzy and generic? And a lot of business owners think, I just need more subscribers. But if your offer is off, all more subscribers will do is give you more people who are not buying from you. So when you see low conversion rates, your question is not, how do I get more people into my world? It is, how do I tune this offer and this messaging so that it is a no-brainer for the people I already have? Okay. Number four, we're going to be talking about unsubscribe rate. And the question that we're going to be looking at, am I losing people or filtering them correctly? So we're going to talk a little bit about unsubscribes. And I know that this is one that makes a lot of people cringe. A lot of business owners look at and see their unsubscribes and they immediately think, oh no, I did something wrong. Maybe I should be less salesy or I should email less. And I can tell you neither one of them are true. Unsubscribes can actually be very healthy as long as they are stable and predictable. So this usually means that your message is clear when you get unsubscribes, your positioning is strong, people who are not a fit are opting out, which is what you want them to do, and the people who are staying on your list are more aligned. That is perfect. The only time I really want you to perk up and really pay attention is when you see a sudden spike in unsubscribes, because that can be a signal that something has shifted. Maybe your topic changed, your tone change, or you started promoting something that did not match what people expected from you. So this is not a crisis. It's really just an invitation to look at what happened and really ask yourself, did I change something here, or did the expectations get a little bit out of sync? Now, number 5 is one of my most favorite metrics. It is one that I've been paying a really close attention to this year, and that is revenue per reader. And it really answers the question, is my newsletter a business asset? And this is one that a lot of people never look at and never track, but you will, because you are a CEO and you're going to be looking at your business like you're a CEO. And the revenue per reader answers a very simple question. Is this newsletter actually pulling its weight in my business? And it tells you, is the time and energy I am putting into this turning into revenue? Is my monetization strategy working? Is my list size doing something for me financially? Or am I just collecting subscribers with no clear plan? And this is the metric that I think really determines sustainability. Not just, is this performing okay, but can this support the business I want to run? And inside this month's Newsletter Profit Club workshop, we're going to spend a good chunk of time on this one and all of these metrics. We're going to look at how to calculate it, how to figure out what's realistic for your niche, and what to do if you look at your revenue per subscriber and you don't like what. So let's talk about what to do with this money map. So now you know what each metric is really telling you. The next logical question is, okay, what do I fix first? And I'm going to give you a very simple order of operations that you can follow. Number 1, first, I want you to fix consistency. If your readers do not expect to hear from you, nothing else matters. So before you obsess over conversion rates, make sure that you are actually emailing on the schedule you can stick with. Second, I want you to fix your call to actions. If you do not clearly invite people to do something, you're not going to get clicks or sales. And that doesn't mean that you have to turn every email into a pitch. It just means that you are going to take them on a very specific journey and you're going to tell them what that next step is, and you're going to be very clear about it. Third, I want you to look at fixing the alignment between your content and your offers. Your newsletter should naturally lead into the things that you sell. So if you're talking about one thing every week and selling something completely unrelated, your conversion rate will definitely tell you this. Fourth, I want you to fix reader retention, because keeping an engaged reader for 90 days is almost always more valuable than adding a few hundred new people who never open or click anything. So when you work through your metrics, I would say in this order that I've just described here, you're going to stop randomly trying all the things, and you're going to start running a newsletter that behaves like a real business asset instead of a weekly, I hope this works experiment. So if this episode has you thinking, okay, Destiny, I finally understand what you're talking about. I finally understand what these numbers mean. Now I actually want to look at my own and make a plan. And that is exactly what we're doing inside this month's workshop in the Newsletter Profit Club. I am going to take this money map framework and go deeper. We're going to walk through how to calculate each metric with your own numbers, what healthy benchmarks look like, especially for small and mid-sized lists. We're going to walk through how to diagnose your weak spots and the simplest moves you can make in the next 30 days to increase your newsletter revenue. So if your goal for 2026 is more engagement, better conversions, or turning your newsletter into a reliable revenue stream, this workshop is designed to help you with that. You can either join us live or get access to the replay and resources. You just have to head over to the Newsletter Profit Club, and I will put that link in the show notes so you can check that out. I would love to help you turn your newsletter into an asset that actually supports your business this upcoming year. Bye for now. Thanks for listening all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed this episode today. If you love the show, I'd appreciate a review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast platform. Have a great rest of your day, and bye for now.